All right. As Kanisha stated, we will talk today about the FAFSA. We'll give you all the pertinent information that you'll need when you're going in to complete your FAFSA. We also will discuss the universal application that will take your questions and concerns. As she said, I am Ms. Malone, your college and career coach, and we are definitely sit in the guidance office to help you throughout this process. So whenever you start your FAFSA, the first step is to create an FSA ID. So you will see on this particular slide, which we will send out to you, it does have the link where you can go to studentaid.gov, and that'll take you directly to this page that you see in front of you. And you'll have the option to start here or log in. You will need to create an FSA ID for both yourself and your parents. That is a way that you will sign your FAFSA. So the FSA is like your electronic signature. It is tied to your social security number and only yours. You cannot create another account if you already have an existing account. So if a parent has worked with the school themselves, or if you have an older sibling that they've done this before, they will need to get into that same account, retrieve that login information, and you shouldn't have any problems there. It does give you reset options, so you can reset it with your phone number or your email. If that information has changed, then you're going to have a lot more troubleshooting needs to be done to reset it. If you cannot reset it, you will need to sign your FAFSA electronically. I'm sorry, you will need to print out a signature page, and we can help with that in the guidance office. But that is a link that will take you to all questions or concerns you have regarding your FSA ID. So then let's talk about the documents that you'll need. So once you have your FSA ID, that, like I said, that's tied to your social. So you'll need that information. You'll need your tax documents. And let's take a look at that specifically, what tax documents you're looking at. So you'll need that federal filing documents, your tax information, and your parents will know which form they use. So the most common we have is the IRS 1040. But like I said, this is something your parents will know what form they have. You'll need any type of records for untaxed income, such as child support, interest income, veterans non-education benefits, for you and your parents if you are a dependent student, and your cash information, your savings account, checking account balance, investment accounts, stocks, bonds, real estate, and things of that nature. So you will need all of those documents because the FAFSA does ask that information. The reason being, it is a need-based grant, or it's need-based, and that's based on your financial needs. So that's why they will need all that information. So let's take a look at how FAFSA defines parent. A parent is going to be your legal, biological, or adoptive parent or step parent, or the person that the state has determined to be your legal parent. If you have any questions, we'll get into a little bit deeper dive here in a moment, but this is a link at the bottom of this slide that will take you to any concerns or questions that you may have determining whose information you'll need. And this is a graph. I like this graphic because it kind of helps you know where you need to go. First, you probably want to define who a parent is, because a parent is not your widowed step parent. It's not your grandparents, your foster parents, legal guardians, older brother or sister, aunts or uncles. We're talking about your biological parents, unless one of those listed below have went through the adoption process, or a court has, made that so. So you would start with your parents. If your parents are married, of course, you're going to use both of their informations on the FAFSA. If your parents are not married, but they live together, you'll still use both of their information. If they don't live together, you would want to determine which parent you live with more. And if you live with one of those parents more, then you're going to use that parent's information. If you do not live with one more than the other, you're going to determine if that who provides you most financial support throughout the last 12 months. So over the past 12 months, you'll look at the parent that's provided you most financial support, And then you'll ask if that parent is remarried, you're going to use that parent and your step parent's information when you're completing your FAFSA. The same goes for if you if you any parent, if you're using one parent, you're going to always consider if that parent is remarried. This is a graphic. You can always refer back to it, and we can help you navigate this process. But these links will take you directly to that information to help you work that out. And an alien registration number and a driver's license number are also things that it will ask for if it's applicable. So you don't have to fill these out if they don't apply. It doesn't require you to enter anything into these boxes. If this is applicable to you, you will know. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some things to help you determine your status. As we talked about before, a dependent student is going to need their parents' information. There are situations where we have independent students. So someone with legal dependence, if you have a child or children that you provide more than half of the support for, so if you're taking care of a child, then that will make you an independent student. An orphan, a ward of the court, an emancipated minor, someone who is homeless or at risk of being homeless, or at least 24 years old. Now, there are other situations that could require you or make you an independent student. These are the most common that we would see working with your age group, but there are others, and you can find the complete list at the link below, and it will help you determine if that applies to you. And of course, if you're not independent, you are dependent, which we talked about a minute ago as far as you needing your parents' information. So you can see that full list of the criteria at that link. So we have a lot of specific scenario or different situations working with such a diverse group of students. And I just want students to know that we are here to help you, to get you through and transition and get you any aid that's possible. So we are aware of different situations that may arise, and we don't fear, helping you. We definitely have all the resources needed. So don't be fearful of coming to us. And we do want to make sure that you know that we will handle your situation with care. So we'll go into a couple of situations that we may run into. If a student does not have a social security number, you will not be able to complete a FAFSA. But there are options and there are opportunities out there for you. So just reach out to us directly and we'll guide you through and get you on to the right process to make sure you get some type of aid. Now, also, there are situations where you may have a social security number, but your parents do not. In this case, you do have the ability to complete a FAFSA. There, you will have to use your parent. You will have to use all zeros when it asks for your parents' social, and you will not be able to create an FSA ID for your parent, but they still can sign it, do a physical signature by doing a signature page. So it will ask you when you get to the signature part, do you want to do that? And that's the option you will select. When you print out a signature page, it gives you the address at the bottom of the page that you would mail it to. And make sure you put a stamp on it. I've had a lot of those returned without stamps. So definitely other situations, we see that you may stay with a grandparent or you stay with an aunt or an uncle, or you have been with them all of your life, but you are not legally adopted by them. It refers back to you still have to use your parents' information. So you will always reach out to your parents to get your information. If you have problems providing or reach out to us and we can kind of help you through the process. You can submit that. There's a question that will ask you if you want to provide your parents' information, but you will have to go through additional verification steps from your institution directly. So we would rather help you try to resolve the issue or maybe find some kind of alternate way, or just reach out to us and we'll help you with your situation specifically. And of course, independent students, You will not need your parents' information. You will only use your information, and if you work, you will need your tax documents from when you filed, or if you filed taxes for 2019. We are going to go ahead and start talking about the universal application. I'll go ahead and pass that over to Kanisha.
Thank you, Miss April. So can y'all hear me? I'm working on projecting, you guys. I
Yes.
did that a lot. I need to speak up. Okay. So the universal application, that is basically a common application that allows you to apply for grants and scholarship provided by the state of Arkansas. One of the most popular or the most known is the lottery scholarship. It's a very short, simple application. There are only 2 or 3 requirements for the application, and it's simple, it's online, and this is the link that you would use. It's on the screen. You just fill out, I think, it's a yes or no question from the beginning, and then like 4 fields to fill out, and then it'll take you through another process. People that or students that receive an error when they do start it, there is a workaround that as far as when it asks you if you're a student in the state of Arkansas, you would say no, and then it'll have you fill out separate fields, and it should take you through to the application process after that. Those that graduate early, so if you're a junior, you can't do this application until you take your test, your ACT test in February. That's when you can be considered for these scholarships and grants. So like I mentioned before, the top scholarships that are offered or that you apply for through the universal application are the Academic Challenge, also the Arkansas Future Grant, Arkansas Workforce Challenge, and the Governor's Distinguished Scholarship, excuse me. And for a full list, you can click the link. We'll try to get this out to everybody that's joining us. So for the Academic Challenge, you just need a 19 on your ACT. If you don't make that, it's a 246 on the Accuplacer, and we do provide Accuplacer's test as well. That's a really, really easy score to get. Like, in order to get into the community college, you have to have a 253 and a 256 to get into those college courses. So a 246 average on the Accuplacer is very easy to attain, and it will be a $14,000 scholarship for 4 years if you do choose a 4-year college. If you choose a 2-year college, it would be $4,000. So that is something that we really encourage you guys to apply for, and we are willing to assist you guys with. The Arkansas Futures Grant, it's for those that are looking into the STEM field. They cover certificates and associate programs, and you just need to live in Arkansas for 3 years. And the Governor's Distinguished Scholarship, it is the qualifications is a 32, excuse me, on the ACT, a 3.5 GPA, and it's a scholarship that pays up to $10,000 per year, depending on the school and tuition and everything. So this is our contact information. This is how you can get in contact with us. We're available at any time. If we don't reach out to you, we ask that you give us about 24 hours. That could change depending on like deadlines and stuff that come up throughout the year, like ACT dates and then scholarship deadlines. We just ask you guys for a little bit of patience and a little grace, but more than likely we can get back with you guys within 24 hours. So with that being said, are there any questions or anything? Let's see. Let's check the chat.
And I'm going to post a survey at the end. So it'll give you the option to ask any questions or anything that you have. I'm going to stop sharing my screen just a moment. Do we have any questions in the chat?
You guys can unmute if y'all don't want to type it.
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what day do we like fill out the for the FAFSA?
Oh, we can do it any day. Did you want to set up an appointment? We're doing a walkthrough Thursday if that's what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, I can wait till Thursday, and me and my mom had set an appointment for tomorrow, if that was okay.
Okay. Do you want to email me the time for tomorrow?
Yes, I will.
Okay, that works.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
All right, I am posting this link now in the chat if I can get to it. And if you all, it's just a quick survey just to make sure that we keep track of you, that you attended today. And also it gives you the option to make sure that we addressed all of your questions or concerns. So if there's anything that you didn't get a chance to get asked tonight, then you'll have the option to put that on your form.